The sports card market has cooled off a ton this summer, but where is it at this very moment? Well, in this new monthly segment, I'm tracking the prices of 18 of the most iconic and collectible cards in the 3 major US sports to create this snapshot of the hobby from a 30,000 foot view. So we could be among the first to spot if things are still cooling down or about to heat back up. So with that being said, welcome back. Now let's get to work. All right, guys, let's start here with basketball, and you see the cards I picked out. I got a Kobe rookie card here, PSA 10, Dr. J rookie card, PSA 8 and 9, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Dr. J card here, Larry's rookie card, LeBron James's PSA 10 Topps Chrome, as well as the only young emerging star would be Luka's Prism Silver in a PSA 10, and then of course we got the GOAT, Michael Jordan, down here, and I got his PSA 9, not 10, more transactions on the 9. This is a year view, so let's take a look. This is what it's been from a year ago from, let's see, the 30th of August, 2020. Obviously, there was a big peak before that with a lot of the NBA, and then we saw this massive spike earlier this year, and then now it has gone down. So, you know, that makes sense. But if we go in a bit closer, let's take a look at the last 180 days. And this will start giving a better and better idea, or, you know, better visual as to what's going on. And so last 180 days, March, everything crashed, but it looked like the bottom was right here around June 19th. And you see some cards are rebounding towards the right, where some, you know, they haven't gone down anymore. They've kind of plateaued / pivoted back up. So, you know, very early to say. You can't see everything right there, obviously, and each card's different. You know, Luka's going to be different than Dr. J. But if you take a look at the last 90 days compared to the 1st of June, you see some cards have actually gone up. So the Larry Bird PSA 8 is up 58% from whatever that sale was prior to June 1st. Let's see, what is this one right here? This is the PSA 9 has gone up. A couple others have gone down. Kobe's has gone down 26%. MJ's PSA 9 is down 26% from that moment. And then if we take a look here at the last 30 days, same thing. We have a couple cards higher, a couple cards lower, but only a few transactions. But if I take a look at the entire thing, I think 180 days is pretty good. We see, all right, overall, these iconic cards, they've bottomed out somewhere around here for the most part, and then now starting to go back up, or at least find a new floor price or whatever price that people are willing to pay at this point. One last thing is take a look at this chart for the last 365 days for basketball, and then compare that to the last 365 days for football. The charts are way different. So you see here, there was the giant spike that you can't see because it happened right before August 30th. And then everything was pretty flat with these cards, these iconic cards. And then again, we saw that massive spike in February and March. But look, it did not go super high and crash like basketball. If you take a look at basketball, giant bump and then drop. Football, it went up, but it also maintained a bit. So it didn't go up as much, it maintained. And that makes sense because basketball was not something we cared about in March. So even though it followed the trend of cards taking off, it was not to the degree of basketball where basketball is actually being played. On to football, and if you take a look at the cards I included, I got Barry Sanders 89 score in a PSA 10, Jerry Rice's Topps in a PSA 9, Patrick Mahomes Prism Silver PSA 10, and Walter Payton's 1976 in a PSA 10 and 9, as well as Tom Brady's Bowman Chrome and Bowman Rookie in PSA 10. And again, these are just, I can't use every card. I got to use just a couple that really collectors like, investors like, so I'm just going overall. But if you take a look at the last 365 days in football, compare that to basketball, you see a much different chart where things really went berserk for basketball and then completely dropped off, even though these are iconic cards. And then football, it went up, but it leveled off. It did not drop nearly as drastically. That's probably because March was pure off season for football, where you didn't have that extra surge or attention from the games being played and what's going on. So last 180 days, let's take a look. You see, only one purple card was down. That's Jerry Rice, or his was down the most, but 68%. That one really dropped. The others, this one right here in blue, this is Patrick Mahomes, actually went up and stayed up because he's an active player and we're looking forward to him this upcoming season. So his cards actually remained somewhat close, so minus 20% from that from that March price. The others, Tom Brady right here, Tom Brady in red, and then Barry Sanders in gold. Let's take a closer look to see in the last 90 days. And you see here, okay, now in the last 90 days since June 1st, I believe this would be June 1st or June 2nd, you have a couple cards in the negative. So this blue right here, Patrick Mahomes is a bit down 9.4%. Tom Brady's, actually, this is Tom Brady's last sale, minus 9.7%. So a couple cards still down from 3 months ago, which might be interesting, but then a couple cards that are up. So Walter Payton's PSA 9 is up 60%, at least from that last sale, if that is legit. It's a bit of a outlier looking sale right there. Then last 30 days, I won't spend too much time on this just because last 30 days there's not too many transactions, more of the same. From a month ago, the beginning of August, you see a couple cards that looked like they were going to end above the starting price, but then the last sales, minus 4%, minus 3%. So pretty flat right there. Only this Walter Payton really stuck out if that's a legit sale. Okay, on to baseball. And again, take a look at the last 365 days. Look at that chart. Compare that to basketball, and then compare that to football. And you see baseball a bit different. There was a card that spiked up to 591%, which is Ricky Henderson's PSA 9. The others well into 200s, nothing super crazy, and then it leveled off very nicely. It did not drop nearly as drastically as the others. But we have Derek Jeter's PSA 9, Ken Griffey Jr.'s Upper Deck PSA 10, Mike Trout as the only active player PSA 10 in his Topps update. Obviously, with his injury and how the season goes, that'll shift based on those reasons. Mickey Mantle I wanted to include, but the prices would have been through the roof, and there's just not enough transactions. I want something a bit more liquid. Nolan Ryan is PSA 7 because there's 1,598. Ricky Henderson, like I mentioned, and then Sandy Koufax in a PSA 7. And again, I'm just going with cards that people like, but enough transaction volume. So let's take a look at the last 180 days. And everything has been down in the last 180 days. It looks like this was the bottom here for at least the Derek Jeter card. Kind of rebounded, kind of went back down. What about the last 90 days? Okay, so at least in the last 90 days, a couple cards are over that starting point. So again, from January, February, March, June 1st, at least we have Ricky Henderson's PSA 9 is up 33% based on that last good sale. And then Ken Griffey Jr.'s PSA 10 is up 12% from that starting price. And then we have the other 4 cards, I believe at least 4 cards, lower now than what they were 3 months ago. Let's take it to August. Let's see if anything has changed here. And now we have 3 cards in the negative and a couple positive. So Sandy Koufax 5%. Let's see, which one is this? Ken Griffey 18% and Ricky Henderson 48%. So those are the good ones. A couple ones down here. Let's see, minus 8% on the Jeter, 9% on the Mike Trout, which makes sense. His injury is still lingering, and they might shut him down for the year. At least something like that. I read something like that. But now I want to hear from you. What is your prediction for fall? Do you think prices will be trickling upward with cooler weather, staying flat, or even dropping back down more? And also let me know how I can make this even more valuable to you in September. You can see all the numbers featured in this video in the link in the pinned comment. Make sure to pound that like button if you got some value from this, and I will talk to you later.